of those in attendance. Um, uh, just to let everybody know that this is the Open Doorway Spiritualist Community Incorporated. We are an independent organization committed to spiritual growth of all. We are of spiritualist nature. Spiritualism has been around since the mid-1800s, and we believe in spirit communication, uh, Reiki or touch therapy, and this particular community was founded back in 2016 by my godfather and mentor, Reverend Paul Baudet, who has, of a couple of years ago, transitioned to the other side, and I've taken over and continue to spread that message of love and light to others. And we're ultimately just trying to grow our community. I don't know if some of you who are here have been with us since the beginning, and some of you are not as familiar with the Open Doorway. But we just believe in the divinity of all people, and that it is inherent in all of us. And we like to just kind of meet up together in worship of that belief in divine intelligence. We have been meeting since 2016, usually in person in Brooklyn, but because of the current pandemic, we have to utilize the tools that have been given to us. So we're doing this virtually for the foreseeable future. It has been quite a ride and a very interesting journey. But we are very lucky to have this technology to be able to meet together as a community. So with that said, we've got about 17 people. We might have some others in and out throughout the service. But let's begin the service with an invocation. So I just ask everybody, take a second just to get relaxed wherever you are. I hope everybody found a nice quiet place for them to do, like just sit. If you even want to, you can lie down. And just, we'll go through our service. I've been told from the past experience, it's just been very relaxing. So just get yourself situated, and I will start with an invocation. Now, Taylor, we're presenting on the Open Doorway screen, correct? And you can keep up the title card, or if you could put me on screen, present me on screen. Can you hear me? Can everybody hear me? I'm just making sure the mic's on. Okay, great. Thank you for everybody answering. Something's wrong with my sound, so I can't hear too much, but that's okay. I'll just
I'll do all the talking. Anyways, we'll start with the invocation. Thanks for joining. Just close your eyes for a moment. Infinite intelligence, bless us as we gather together in unity, in shared belief of your wisdom, healing energy, and eternal love. Clear our minds and senses so that we may accept all aspects of your infinite light into our hearts. Amen. And we will move on to the spiritualist principles. Taylor, you can throw that up on the screen. The spiritualist principles are just an overview of our beliefs as spiritualists. This is the only dogma that you will see in the spiritualist faith. And I just ask everybody to read along with us. I know that the mics will be off, but this just helps in just spreading that intention and that message to others just by saying it out, reading it out loud together. So if we can we throw that spiritualist principles on the screen?
There should be on the screen now.
Okay, just making sure. I wasn't able to see it for some odd reason. There we go. All right. Thanks for the chat box. It's helping guide me here. So I'll go slowly. We subscribe to the following principles: infinite intelligence, the deity, the designing and creating energy for everything in the universe. One universe, many dimensions. From one source came all that is present in our world, our galaxy, and beyond. 3. The immortal soul. The soul is eternal. We seek truth within ourselves, from other souls, from sacred writings, and from the natural order that sustains us. Communication between the material and the non-material world. Spirit transcends all dimensions, all souls, flesh, and spirit communicate with each other. Personal responsibility. Cause produces effect through thoughts, words, and deeds. We create ourselves and our circumstances, and we are singly responsible for our choices and creations. 6. The golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It is our highest morality. And thank you for reading along with that, with the spiritualist principles. Now we're going to move into our healing meditation. So I just ask everybody just to get relaxed in wherever they are. Have your feet planted on the ground, the floor. Just make sure your arms are uncrossed, but you can keep your hands however, whatever feels comfortable to you. But at this point, we're just getting relaxed and getting ready for meditation. Having uncrossed limbs just help with the energy flow. And just close your eyes, and we'll embrace the silence of wherever you are, just for a moment. And Taylor, before you do, you can present my screen before we start. So just close your eyes for a moment and just breathe normally. With every breath, a part of your body relaxes. Feels the warmth around you. Envision a ball of light above your head. Beautiful light. It's pulsating, dancing around and above your head. It's a playful light. A light of love and healing. As you breathe, that light becomes larger. With every breath, it gets brighter. See that light expand around you, covering your whole body in that light and that love. Feel its warmth surround you. Feel that warmth and tingly healing energy by your toes. And your fingers. This light extends healing to you. It warms you, calms the aches and the pains. It relaxes you. You only feel peace. Slowly bring in that light into your body. Have that light enter your toes, in through your feet, in through your hands and your fingers, through your shoulders, your backs, your legs, your mind and face, your throat and neck. Absorb through your chest. It fills you up. That light and the energy of healing. You feel that tingling sensation all over your body. That warmth. Like a loving embrace. Now I want you to bring that light that's inside you and bring it up and into your chest. Centralize it there, into that ball of light you saw before. Collect all the light, all the warmth, all that healing energy to the center of your chest. You feel it coming up from your toes and your feet, past your knees, past your stomach. You feel it sink down from your mind and your eyes, down your mouth and throat, falling to the center of your chest. Have it stay there for a while. Feel its warmth and healing in your heart. And now I would ask everyone to think of someone that they love that needs healing. Friends, family. Anyone that needs healing. Think of them now. Think of their smiling faces, the warmth of their love, and ask for healing. Bring those thoughts of loved ones, family and friends, anyone that needs healing. Bring that thought or those thoughts into the light at the center of your chest. Let that light absorb those thoughts, the faces and the names of those you love that need healing. I would have everyone take a deep breath in, and on that exhale, send that white light out into the world. Let it spread. Let it go to whoever needs that healing light, that healing energy. Take that deep breath in and exhale. Send that light out from the center of your chest. That light goes up into the sky, and sends that energy to whoever needs it, and to whomever you thought of before. Be at peace for a moment. Now slowly come back into the room. Feeling in your toes and your hands, in your neck and your shoulders. Movement being returned to you. Sense of where you are is returning. And when you are ready, open your eyes and come back for the healing prayer. We are all back into the room, our eyes open. Feeling has returned to us. We feel very relaxed. It's like we got a deep tissue massage, or we went into the sauna for an hour. At least that's what it feels like for me. It might feel different for everybody else, but calming at least. Now can you put up the prayer for spiritual healing?
It is up.
We ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from our minds and bodies and to restore us to perfect health. We ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and we will do our part. We ask this great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help, and to restore them to perfect health. We put our trust in the love and power of Spirit. Amen. Thank you. I hope everybody's relaxed still. Thanks, Mercy. Now for the offering portion of our service. This has been a difficult time for many people. And when we were deciding what we were to do during this time as a community, I didn't think it right to go away and to not do anything. I felt that the need for light and love in this world was essential, and that the Open Doorway community played a part in that spreading of light and love. Currently, right now, we're not spending any money because we're not meeting up at Awakening in Brooklyn, so we don't have to pay for rent or anything like that. And it felt that it would not be in our best interest to receive any donations. This is usually our time where we ask for donations just for maintenance, upkeep of this community, our ability to do more things as a community. But I felt that a lot of people need help, and I've been at every virtual service have been asking everybody to, if you are so inclined in making a donation to the Open Doorway, I'd ask you to redirect that donation to the cause that we have selected today, which is the Doctors Without Borders charity. This was founded in the late 1960s. A group of French doctors decided that medical care and medical supplies didn't go to just the wealthy and the privileged. It went to everybody. Torn areas, third world countries, anywhere that needed medical care was going to get it through Doctors Without Borders. It is a wonderful organization. I'm sure that a lot of you have heard of it over the many decades. It actually won a Nobel Peace Prize many years ago. So if you'd be so kind, you can contribute what you wanted to contribute to the Open Doorway. Please direct that to that organization, and the link and the donate page is probably the first thing you'll see on the website. So thank you for doing that. Next, we have our inspirational lecture. We have a special guest with us. She is a good friend, and I have met her, I would say, many months ago. We happened to work at the same place, and we got to talking and found out that we both want to spread love and light into the world. Me in my ministry, and her and her holistic health studies. She is in the process of receiving a national certification by American Association of Drugless Practitioners as a certified holistic health counselor. And I'm so lucky to have met her and invite her. And her name is Oneida Diaz. So we can put her up. I believe we have her up on the screen. I can't see, unfortunately. Or hear for that matter. So Oneida, you can unmute yours.
Hello.
Mic. You're allowed.
Can you hear me? Yeah? Okay. Amazing. Am I like on camera as well, or you can just hear my voice?
We can just hear you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Oh, you can see. I can't see her. Okay. Some people can see you. Some people cannot.
Okay.
I can't see you. But that's okay. It's not for me. It's
that's okay. So, hi everyone. My name is Oneida Diaz, and first of all, I'm super grateful to be here with you all during the service in this very moment. That's just a little background or a little story, so that way I can then dive into like the fun stuff. And so I was born in Santiago de los Caballeros in the Dominican Republic, and I grew up in New York City. And so living in a place where everyone and everything always seems to be in constant motion, it completely blurred the idea of self-care and awareness for me. And so many times I found myself feeling guilty just to take the time to rejuvenate. Even if it's after like a long day of work, when I get home, I'm still so used to just being on the move or feeling the need to constantly be doing something. But so I have a slide for you all. I don't know. I don't think I'm able to share my screen. At least I don't know how to, but that's okay. I can always just read off of it. I'm not so great with technology, so bear with me. And again, if you, yeah, I like shocking, but if you can hear me, then perfect. So yeah, so starting my day before sunrise, and I still do that now, where I wake up at around 3 a.m. in the morning for work, and then I don't get home until 2, or actually until 3 p.m. But then I'm still just going about my day because just I guess like the environment that I grew up in, it's always just been, at least from how I perceive it, it always seems to be constantly moving. And I haven't been able to experience as much just people taking the time to just sit down and just relax. But for me, just being on the move again, it just seemed too important. So for several months, eventually my body started feeling like the effects of my routine. I barely had like full nourishing meals. I slept and rested, but my sleep was I'd probably get like 4 hours of sleep, if anything, no exaggeration. And so doing that, just not eating like balanced meals, not preserving the time to meditate. And later on, I'll go into a bit more detail as to why I even bring up meditation at all. Just because for me, it's a practice that I have found so much, I guess it has allowed me to connect with myself in a way that I never really experienced, but I'll go into that a little later. But so yeah, eventually in the past, my body was really good at pushing through a routine like this, a routine in which I'm just, again, constantly on the move, not really taking care of myself, not taking the time to even stretch, even for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, or just sitting down for a moment and just taking a deep breath in and just, I guess, accepting everything for what it is. You know what I mean? The background noise, whatever environment is around me, like the image I see in front of me, just sitting with it and not judging it, not labeling it, and just kind of just relaxing, you know, and that has been a bit foreign to me. And so in becoming so used to something like that, my body gave up on me. I felt weaker, and that was physically but also mentally. And in all honesty, like, I am grateful that my body, I guess, shut down when it did. And I guess in the ways that it did, because had that not happened, I wouldn't have, I just feel that there's so much value in that just whole experience. And the value lies in the fact that I was introduced to exactly what can happen when you don't go inward and you listen to what your body is communicating with you, whether that be something physical or just something on just a mental level. And so I'm, again, like I said, I'm super grateful to be here today, and I'm super blessed to be able to talk to you about the knowledge that I have gained through the class or the course that I've been taking. And that knowledge is of the mother of all healing. And that's the nickname for Ayurveda. And so Ayurveda is the Sanskrit word, and it basically translates to the science of life. And so it originated in India over 5,000 years ago, and it's still used and practiced today, hence why I'm taking this course. And I think it's a beautiful thing, because it teaches you to live inwardly in balance, but outwardly in harmony with your environment and the laws of nature, which for me, I resonate so much with that, I guess, concept of living in balance and in harmony, because it makes me feel one with everything around me. And I don't know if that makes sense, but that's the best way that I can vocalize that feeling. And so with Ayurveda states that everything, non-living and living, they are all composed of the 5 basic elements. And the Sanskrit word for it that is used in Ayurveda is called Pancha Mahabhutas, which again just means the 5 basic elements. And those are earth, fire, air, space, and water. And so according to Ayurveda, there are 3 primary forces in life. And these primary forces are known as doshas. And so what doshas are, it's the energies that they basically circulate within our body, and they also they govern basic psychological functions in the body. And this is something that every human being has a combination of. And there are 3 different doshas, like I stated, and those are known as vata, kapha, and pitta. And then I'll go into the meaning of those in just a little bit. But when you're determining your constitution, the doshas that are dominant over the others, that's one of the factors that are going to help you in determining that. And I'll let you know why. Your constitution in Ayurveda is important. But first of all, to begin, your constitution is established at the time of conception. And what it basically consists of, or the factors that it consists of, are your parents and like their lifestyle, their emotions, their diet. Genetics, of course, will play a part in that as well. And just like, again, you will have a combination of doshas. So that's going to be the vata, the kapha, and the pitta. And you may hear that a bit often, like in these next few minutes, but because it may seem like, for those of you who haven't heard of Ayurveda or even like the doshas, it may seem like a bit too overwhelming. And if it's not, that's okay. So just that I can give you characteristics of these different types of energies, I'm just going to read along some notes that I make here. So those who are, let's say, more dominant in the Vata dosha, they would have characteristics such as like dry skin, dry hair, lips, tongue, anything of that sort. They're usually, in terms of their body, they're usually very thin and they have lighter muscles. They are creative. They usually have cold hands and feet, and their circulation is very poor. And when they speak as well, they usually talk very fast. And when they walk very fast. So those are just like characteristics of Vata. And of course, there are many more, but those are very common ones. And the next is Pitta. So those who have a constitution where their Pitta is more dominant, they're usually very muscular in terms of their body. They're more focused, determined. They have warm skin. They're usually judgmental. And again, for Pitta, there are many more characteristics. And you could, if you were interested in learning more about doshas, you could easily look up the 3 doshas or characteristics of the 3 doshas. So if you were curious to know, oh, what am I dominant in, or which doshas am I dominant in, you can find those characteristics and kind of figure it out on your own. And if you need guidance, I'm always here. But that's exactly how I was able to determine the doshas that I'm dominant in. So for Kapha, they usually have a heavy body type, and they walk slow, they talk slow. They can be lazy, but they're just very calm people and very in tune with the earth. And they have oily hair, skin, and things like that. So those are characteristics of the Kapha. So due to any internal or external factors, our constitution or our doshas, they can become, or they can go out of balance. So our goal in Ayurveda is to bring them back to balance. And so every human being has a unique combination of energies. And so in Ayurveda, the Ayurvedic therapies, they vary according to your constitutional and mental characteristics. So, and also if you have, I guess like, well, from genetics, if there are any diseases or illnesses that you may be prone to are also considered. And that just makes the holistic and healing approach more unique to you as an individual, which is super important because it's like, yes, there are certain practices that I think we can all benefit from, and obviously like in different ways. But when it comes to understanding like the characteristics of your mind, your body, and your soul, really understanding those certain parts of you, you will have a more, again, a holistic approach to healing yourself. And so there are practices that I have learned through Ayurveda, and I guess that I have also, I've done it a lot more often because of this course, are the practices, which I'm sure many are familiar with, the practices of yoga, the practice of meditation, just even sleeping or resting. There are breathing exercises too that are just really good to bringing you back to balance, even if it's just for 5 minutes, you know what I mean? But I think that for me, it was just something that I lacked as I got older, because I felt that I was always, again, having to do something, and I didn't really understand the concept of just like sitting down, like being with yourself and everything around you, and just experiencing it for what it is. But the gift of Ayurveda, it is to help prevent any imbalances, any illnesses. It guides us to maintain our health, and it allows us to heal ourselves through using our 5 senses, which is just every part of you that, like, like it just makes the most sense. You know what I mean? To use your whole self, to use your five senses, to heal your cellular wisdom. And like I was saying earlier, meditation is one of my favorite practices because for me, I see it as the practice of being. And being means to me just using your senses fully. And you can choose to sit down, to sit in stillness, to sit in a quiet background, or you can choose to cook a meal or taste a piece of chocolate or read a book. And you can use your five senses to do those little things. And just doing that and really focusing on just like the present moment and not allowing your mind to take you out of it, to where you're reading a book and you're like, you know, you're reading along the lines and then you're like, oh, but I have this thing tomorrow at work. And then, or whatever it may be, like anything that distracts you from what you're currently doing. And so for me, I think it's an important thing because I find myself leaving the present moment, but then for me, in order to bring myself back, I have to like sit in stillness and not let my mind label everything around me. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but can you guys still hear me? Yeah, okay, great. Okay, perfect. And so the most important thing, apart from being able to heal yourself using your senses, is to heal yourself through patience. I feel that that's the most, it is such a simple word, but it can be tough for us to achieve in certain moments. And so why not, yes, why not, in order to experience love, to experience bliss, to experience harmony, why not have that patience for ourselves to experience all that we can on earth, and wherever it is that we transcend after that. And so I think during this time, or even during any time of year, is probably one of the best times to take advantage of Mother Nature, and simple practices that will just allow you to be and not have your mind distract you from the present moment. Again, you can, if you have access to a backyard, or even if you can go to the park, or if you don't have access to any of those things, that's okay. You can stay in your apartment, stay in your safe haven, stay in your home, and just slip off your slippers, your socks, whatever it is that are covering your feet, and just ground yourself. And just, for me, I'm a fan of nature, so I would go out to the park and just take off my shoes and just plant my feet on the ground. I want to feel the earth beneath my feet, you know. So just for me, that just makes me feel incredibly grounded, and it just feels so nourishing at the same time too. And so if you, again, don't have access to those things, when you're in your apartment, just stand still, look outside your window, stare up at the sky, whether it's super cloudy outside or raining, just still look up and just enjoy the light that is still shining through those clouds. Or even if the sun is out, like, enjoy that as well. There's a practice that I have learned about in Ayurveda, and it is called sun gazing. So you don't have to look directly at the sun, but again, just embracing that light that shines from within it. And I think another thing is going, again, for a run or walk in nature. If you don't have access to a park that's close to you, or buy a little plant or something. I have 11 house plants because it makes me feel like I'm in nature, even when I'm like getting home, which just for me, it brings so much peace within, and at the end of the day, that's something that I will always choose to connect with. It's just peace within myself. That way, hopefully the peace within me kind of radiates and other people feel that too, and then recognize the peace within themselves. It doesn't even have to be the peace emanating from me or anything like that. But so those are just little practices. And even, like I said, if you're eating a meal, just kind of not to be one with the meal, but just focus on every bite. You know what I mean? What are your ears listening to when you're chewing? Or what is it that you hear? Like what textures does your tongue feel? What textures does the inside of your mouth feel? What is your stomach doing when you're eating? Little things like that. When you just notice those things about yourself and you're not taking yourself, again, I say this a lot, just taking myself out of the present moment, because I find myself doing that often. And I want to become just more acquainted with appreciating the beauty that is in all of this earth. And for me, that's just recognizing it and seeing it for what it is, rather than letting my mind make or fully kind of make up its own understanding of it all. Because I feel like our mind just, it allows us to vocalize our thoughts or feelings to other people. But like the feeling that our body feels, that's to communicate that, we wouldn't be able to, I guess it's hard to communicate a feeling fully to where the other person knows exactly how you feel. I don't know if that makes sense, but if it doesn't, that is okay. As long as I guess like the most important message that I did want to get out is when you become familiar with the characteristics of your mind, your body, your soul, and you can choose little practices that you're interested in. But when you become familiar with those things, you literally can become your own healer, even if it's doing very small things that, again, just allow you to connect with you. And that can mean anything for all of you. And that can mean something completely different for me than what it may mean to anyone. But just, I've learned so much from Ayurveda, and I'm still learning so much about Ayurveda, that I would love for it to get to the point where I'm spreading that guidance to anyone who's interested in it. So thank you again for hearing me, guys. And again, I'm super blessed and happy to be here with you on, just sending love and light to all of you.
Thank you, Oneida, for your talk. A lot of points were made that are so important. Especially us refocusing on our five senses.
Mm-hmm.
It's so crucial. That's how we perceive the world around us. These are the tools that were given to us to fully experience the human experience, which is necessary for our journey and our karma. A lot of car horns out there, so I apologize. If anyone lives in Hamilton Heights, they know anywhere in the Heights, they know that there's this constant barrage of car horns and whatnot, and alarms going off. But yeah, that refocus to the senses is so important. And so thank you for sharing that, and your love of that, and this modality that I'm just so unfamiliar with, but I'm going to do a lot of research now. So and get into it myself. So I may be asking you some questions the next time I see you.
Sounds good.
But I hope that our friendship continues in eventually down the line, when we're all able to meet in person, that you can come join us in service and update us about your journey, and you can even be there to answer any questions about your holistic studies and Ayurveda.
Yeah, I would love that. Yeah.
Thank you again for everybody for joining us for the Open Doorway virtual service. I have just a few quick announcements before we close the service. We are going to try to keep doing at least 2 services a month going forward. The next one is June 6th. So June 6th at 4:30, there will be a link that is sent via the newsletter. So if you are not on our newsletter, please let us know. We're going to try to get you the link to subscribe to our newsletter. That's how we're doing all of our communication, letting you know what's going on, whether it be a service coming up. We are doing our message circles with Awakening every 2 weeks now. I know there's a few people that have the little mini calendar. The services will remain, but the circles dates have changed, where we're going to be doing 2 every month, and it will be every 2 weeks. So our next one is the 29th, but I believe we only have 1 spot open left for the circle on the 29th. It's Friday between 7:30 and 9. But expect 2 weeks from the 29th for us to you'll have another opportunity to sign up for our circles, and we will through our newsletter and social media, Facebook, Instagram, we'll let everybody know when that is available to make a reservation through the Awakening website. Awakening, we partner with them. They have been our home for the last few years. So you can even go on to the Awakening, awakeningny.com site and doing some, searching, investigating there. But you can also sign up for their emails. And Mariola, who runs the Awakening, she sends out weekly updates and lets everybody know about when there are circles. So just keep staying tuned with us via social media and online. We're going to keep trying to spread that message of light and love to everybody. And I really appreciate everybody joining us today. This was a little bit of a little bit different, just because usually we only meet up once a month. But I figured, since we're not really paying for rent of a place, let's try to get that message of love and light out there more. So more opportunities to just be together as a community. So thank you. So I'll just have everybody just take a moment, just relax. You absorbed a lot of information. I know I have. We absorbed a lot of healing energy. Let's just close our eyes for a moment and just recenter ourselves. Think of all that we've experienced. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Oneida, for showing her wisdom, giving us her wisdom. Just going back to what she was saying, and refocus and feel all of our 5 senses. Now, once we've regained a sense of all of our senses, Divine Parent, thank you for blessing us with healing, prayer, wisdom, and friendship today. May we go forth with it instilled in our hearts and minds. Through us, your light and love will extend to others. Amen. And that completes our service today. People can turn on their mics if they want to talk and say hello or goodbye. We'll keep going.
Thank you so much, Terrence. Thank you, Oneida. That was amazing. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mercy, for joining us.
My pleasure. Can't wait to join you guys again.
Thank you, Matisse. Thanks for joining us from the West Coast. Thank you, Lawrence, for joining us. It was a pleasure to have you. I hope you enjoyed.
I did very much. Thank you.
Let me try to get the link to our subscribe just really quick. If you're not subscribed with us, I'm going to throw it up in just a moment. Into the chat box it goes. So you can follow that link, and that takes you to our subscribe page if you're not linked to our newsletter. To anybody that hasn't joined us, and that just keeps you updated on anything else that goes on. Niz, thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoyed.
Yeah, thanks a lot for hosting.
Now you can go about your day relaxed, right?
You got it.
Alrighty, have a beautiful evening. Thank you so much
Thank you for joining
again.
us. Thank you for your words.
Of course. Thanks.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye. You still there, Mr. Harding? Terry? Teresa, it looks like my dad and you are left. Teal, you can stop the record button.